So I'm going to go ahead and make this video because it's earlier than I wanted. I don't even have all my gear yet, but I want to get this piece stuff put back together. Our last show, we played a big New Year's Eve gig, and our tweeter blew, and then the main speaker of the JBL PRX415s weren't sounding right. So we had like one speaker down and one speaker going, and we had 15 subs going on. So we took the one speaker that was blown and we moved it over in front of the crowd because that was the speaker they were going to hear. And then the speaker that was kind of blown, half working, it was over against the wall. So, I mean, the dancers and the whole crowd in the bar was on the other side, and we put the good speaker on there. If I had to do it all over again, I mean, not just that night, but I probably wouldn't have bought the 15s. They're a little much to lug around and stuff like that. I had a friend had the exact speakers, but they were 12s, and one night something happened ages ago, and he let us borrow the 12. And it was lighter, it was crisper. You know, these are good, but you know, whatever. I'm in it to win it now. So so I had to take the back of this one off, and I bought a new one here in the box. Here's the one that came off of it, and it just screws on there, and then it just plugs in. But as a helpful hint, I couldn't get it off. But I took a hair dryer, heated this plastic up just a little bit, not too much that it'll melt, because I've shredded speakers before. So they say that when you open these up, they smell burnt, and like, you know, that's how they're like a charcoal or something. That's how you tell it's blown. But I'm going to show you how I could tell it was fried. You know, it had nothing to do with the smell. Sorry if my lighting's not right. It's my first YouTube video. Alright, so I took that off there and we'll show it on this little side camera here. You can see that? See this right here? I didn't even have to smell that. I didn't even have to, like, that's just frayed and fried right there. See that? That's frayed and fried. I don't know if you can get like that. Okay. And it does smell burnt. It smells like a dirty ashtray. Ugh. I quit smoking years ago. Years and years ago. I got tired of smelling like an ashtray. Alright. But I get to struggle. Don't get me wrong. Alright, so here I got this one over here, and I've already, I'm going to go to my side camera again. I've already replaced this. I looked into the, when I opened up the speaker, and I looked in there, and I saw this, this little sucker here, and you could see it's blown. I don't know if you can, I don't know. But anyways, you could see it's blown right there. And then, so I ordered one. I put it in, and I was all ready to go. And then I noticed that the other one, just on that very edge here, it's not connected right there. So that put me another week behind. So I'm gonna just put C. Now the hardest part of this was both of these were right in here on the edges, and I suspect it's for vibration. were just globbed with silicone. So I did get some silicone to put that back on there for vibration, because you know, we're a rock band, and we're pretty rough on our stuff, because at the end of the night you're just tired, you're ready to go home and da da da. So I had to go back on eBay, and that is where I had to get these, on eBay. They're SK3 crossover fuses. I couldn't find the new one again, so I had to buy, I got 10 of them for the same price of that new one though, and they were, it says, now this is, it says that they were installed in a something, obviously a electronic device that was never used, and then they cut them all back out. Nah, what was it ever used? Probably was. They were probably red hard and put away wet. But I got 10 of them, and I'm going to use them up, and they're still in good shape, and I'm just going to have to go in there and get that solder off there. I got my solder gun over here. Oh, didn't turn it on. Crap, yeah, now it's heating up. I didn't turn it on. And then I'm gonna put one of these in there, and then I got to spare. But I am gonna put the silicone back in. I don't really want to, but I'm gonna do it because just the vibration. You know, we're rough on our stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and open this sucker up. Oh, I got the silicone out with an X-Acto knife, the little tiny one. I got a whole set here with all these blades, and the internet was like, use a hair dryer, soften it up, it'll come out. No, that stuff, I don't know. It's a special silicone, and I'll show it. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it in the listing or something. I'm not really sure how to do all that yet, but I'll try it. But anyways, I just cut through it. So just really carefully, I cut this way, and then I cut that way, and then I just sort of, you know, really carefully cut it all out. Like you can see, I went in here and I cut this way, and then I cut like this, and the majority of it just came right out. So I never melted, never did anything, but that's how I got it out. I guess if you got any questions about that, you could put it in the comments or something. I don't know how all this stuff works. So, like I said, this is my first YouTube video. So anyways, I've decided that my YouTube channel, I have like a million hobbies, and if you ask my wife, she says, and she says I'm all in. Any hobby I got, it's 100%, and it's true. Like, you know, I've been playing music, I would say, the majority of my life, and I play guitar, and I play mandolin also, and that's another thing that I did. I just took up the mandolin, and now I'm all in, you know. And then I do cycling. I got to get back to that. I've been out of that for maybe a year. That was probably when I was the healthiest in my life, was during cycling. This box is giving me trouble. So it's like the worst unboxing video on the internet right now. You know, so let's just make sure before I throw anything away that this is the exact same one. 14H-C, made in Mexico, JBL. It is not an OEM part, it's not a knockoff, or I mean, not OEM, but it's not a knockoff. It is the exact part. So I'm not gonna put, I just wanted to check that. I'm not gonna put that right there right now. And then put this all aside, because it's the one, but I gotta make sure that works first before I go throwing boxes away. But alright, so I think that that's warmed up. I'm gonna maybe switch camera shots and then do this for a while over here. It's just my iPhone, but and then I'll do some soldering and get that done. On my solder gun, I don't know if you can see this or not, but my solder gun has a sponge. If you're soldering and you get some buildup, you got to get that off there in order to solder correctly. All right, so that turned out pretty good on that one, because if you can see, it's just a little bit of a curve, but I can straighten that right out. I'm gonna do that. Not exactly using the right tools for the right job, but I'm never prepared for anything, so there's a big snowstorm coming up and I wasn't prepared for that. All summer I've been saying I'm gonna get my generator fixed, and I did not do it. It got real hot in the summer, and when it's hot out, not necessarily hot, but humid. When it's humid, I am no good. You can see how much I shake, and I know it might drive you guys nuts, but this is what oops, I think that'll work. So they put these things on it like this. How? I don't know. I won't be able to tell if it's blown. If it blows inside there, I won't be able to see that. So I don't like that. So I think first things first, I'm gonna put some solder on the other side of this one, and I'm gonna run her through there. And I'm actually gonna trim. I'm actually gonna have to straighten out a little bit more. One of the things was they advertised on this that the one side there's only 1/8 of an inch. Now, for some things, that would be like a definite no. I wouldn't buy it. But for mine, you can see like there's not much to go. You don't have much anyway, so I'm worried about this crookedness of this. I'm gonna do my best to straighten this out. I try to use this other thing, these crappiest cutters in the world. I get myself in a lot of trouble because I'm this kind of guy. I can fix that. So in the band, I get stuck. I don't really get stuck. Can't say I get stuck. They would help if they, but I think I'm such a kind of person where I love to learn about things like electronics and guitars and making things, and that I just think that they're all really nice guys, and but I'm very adamant about how I like to do things, so they just kind of stand aside sometimes and let me take over. They're good guys. They're good band members. They make me sound great. I always had this thing about picking a band. I'm gonna try to just screw that sucker in there. I have to clip that off, as much as I don't want to. I've always had this thing that I always pick band members who are really good, because the better they are, the better I sound. And I can screw up. There it went right through there, buddy. You see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know if that's coming across very well. But, better they are, the better I sound, I guess. I don't know is what I'm trying to say. All right, so I'm going to try to get this other one through here too. This is something I had trouble with the last one. I'm gonna clip this one off a little bit too. I had to do this last time. And then I'll come through and then I'll clip again. I need to keep that one loose, that way it gives me I am not very good at this. I'm sure there's probably going to be like a million people be like, you are terrible at fixing stuff. But I'll tell you, I bet you I saved a fortune by doing this myself. There we go, right on through. I bet I saved a fortune because you take this to someone to get it fixed, and you know, you pay for putting it on the bench, you pay for a lot of stuff. I'm gonna take this one and bend it up a little bit. Now I'm gonna put some solder on there, which I don't have that here. Way easier, I don't know. So I'm gonna add a little solder here, and oh, shaky shake. A little solder on there. I know I know people are like, holy cow, that dude shakes. But you know, I've probably dealt with that since I was a kid, and I have people say all to me all the time. They'll be like, "Are you okay? You know, are you all right? You're shaking. Is something wrong?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right." So there it is. We'll go in there and we'll clip this one off so that it doesn't come in contact with anything. Bend the other tool and bend it up a little bit there. All right, I'm gonna check. Make sure that side is. Yep. Now, looks good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in the speaker and I'm gonna give it a test. And then, oh, I forgot to do this. Yeah, let's put that on there. Now I'll tell you, because I'm not a pro, what I like to do is I like to get my phone and I'll shoot a video that goes like, and I'll narrate, and that's what I did for the positives and negatives. Even though if you look here on this, right here, it says HF negative, HF positive, HF negative, and HF positive. And then this right here has a little positive here, and then the other side's a negative. So if you look, the wire is striped, and that's how you can tell. So the striped wire is the negative. So when I put this back in the shell of the JBL, I'll hook it up accordingly. And then this just basically screws onto this. This is the little high speaker. Now, I don't run these things. I have a crossover. I run a crossover, and then I have two 15 subs. And these things basically only get highs, and I'll tell you how I think how this blew. We were actually having like our last practice right before the weekend of our show, and I was messing around. I didn't like the effects. You know, effects live are a weird thing for me because I just don't really like them. I like effects live, but I don't like my effects live. One of these days I'm going to invest in, but I mean, no one cares. I gotta be honest with you, no one cares when we play out. They want a good rock show and they want to sing along to the songs, and that's all they care about. They don't care that they don't care that we have like some words on stage and we're reading off of a sheet sometimes, because I gotta be honest with you, it's a cover band, and when you play in a cover band, sometimes you have to know 50, 60 songs, and you can't remember that every night. I guess to be honest with you, you know, we all have full-time jobs, and then you know, we're not 20 anymore. When I was 20, I'd be like, oh yeah, you can't remember that song, you know. But you know, I'm in my 50s, and everybody else is in their late 40s, and I just don't have time to learn 5 new songs and memorize all the words and learn the lead, because I play a lot of the majority of the leads. Play the lead, learn the song, learn the backups, learn the no. But anyways, so I got this screwed back on. I have no clue where I was going with that. All right, take 2. I just remembered where I was going with that story before I started rambling. How I busted the speaker and how this all broke right before the show. Okay, so we were getting ready to have the show. I wasn't happy with the effects. I started messing around with the board. You got to be careful when you're pumping. Like, you know, we got a huge power amp for, well, it's not huge, but for a small club, it's pretty good. We got a power amp for the subs, and we got a power amp for mains and monitors. And I bent down to mess with the back because the back of our PA is kind of like my life. It's chaotic. It's just how I am. I've survived in chaos all this time. But anyways, I bumped the power cord in the mixing board, and it pulled it out. It was the loudest pop I ever heard. So I put it all back together, and I was like, oh, dang. You know, we got it all back. And then I fired it back up. And in our small practice space, you couldn't hear that something was wrong. And what happened was that pop were these blowing. And I gotta be honest with you, they probably tried to do their job, but it was just a surge, you know. And then that blew, and then this thing blew. So it didn't have a chance, you know what I mean? So you have to be careful with PA gear, man. It's and it's pricey, you know. Hopefully this all works and everything's good, and I don't have to replace hopefully I don't have to replace this whole thing. Hopefully I didn't fry something, and this was definitely fried, and I replaced it. That's brand new. So I'd say all in all, doing this has probably cost me and the band probably 60, probably $70 with me doing it. You know what I mean? Now, if we'd have taken it somewhere, it'd probably been like $200 or whatever. Due to the fact that I played really loud music my whole life, and I didn't care. When I was a kid, I was all, you know, into metal and stuff like that, so I didn't play metal, but I loved listening to it, and, you know, Iron Maiden and all those bands. But I did a lot of damage to my hearing. And then I remember I burst an eardrum swimming once, and you know, rest is history. Tinnitus, high-end hearing is gone, all the good stuff, all the hits that the kids like. All right. I might have to get like some extra lighting here to do this, so hang tight. I might have to steal some of my camera light to do this, because I am not a professional YouTuber. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. To be honest with you, not a clue. Get it in that hole. Not really. Not really. Might have to go get a flashlight. I think that's the best option at this moment is a flashlight. All right. Be back. All right. So I got it all back together, but I didn't put all the screws in it, because if it works, fingers crossed, if it works, I'm going to take it back apart and put the silicone droplets on parts of the crossover. I mean, it's like JBL does it, so I might as well do it, and it's for I suspect vibration, because these things, you know, really kick out the sound. There's a whole cover that goes over top of this, so I'm just going to plug it in with one of the subs and see what it sounds like. I'll run some Bob Marley through it. That's my usual go-to for seeing whether when we do it live, I run Bob Marley in the Wailers through it, because there's, you know, that's got some great bottom end and subs, and the high end was really it's really out there, because basically reggae music is bottom end and top, sort of like that, you know, and especially some of their live music. All right, we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm here in the studio hooking up the stuff. My studio's always been dark. It just is. See what I was telling you about Bob Marley? It's the best music to check your PA with, because not so much as quality wise, but to see if your subs and your mains are working correctly. It's the best thing, man. You got the highs from the drums, you got the lows from that boom and bass that they always had. So it's the best thing that I've ever found. All right. take it back apart, and put some stuff on it. Alright, thanks. Alright, so I put it together, you know, a little bit, and I put the Bob Marley through it, and it worked great. So those cut out eBay fuses worked, and I got 9 more. Kind of janky that they came in a plastic bag with the tips cut out, but hey, I got 9 of them. As long as they hold out and work, you know. There's always workarounds too, like we did at the show that we had. We, you know, we just shifted it to where the people heard it on the other side, and hopefully it never happens at a place that's, you know, wide. This place was like the band was like over here, and the crowd was kind of this way, which, you know, if you've ever played in clubs and stuff like that, you know that sometimes you just gotta shift. If you're wondering why I got another pair of glasses on my head, these are my everyday glasses, and these are glasses I use when I solder or need to see something really up close. But these worked out fine today. I didn't need to do anything. All right, well, I'm going to take that thing back apart and put the silicone on it, and then I think I got to let it dry for like 24 hours before I use it. So, oh, I didn't get the silicone to show you what kind of silicone it was. Be right back. So I wanted to show you real quick before I took that speaker back apart. Here's the silicone, not silicone. Silicone, little side shot over here. The silicone that I spent some time on the internet trying to figure out what kind of silicone to use, because I didn't want to use a glue gun, because take 2. Okay, so here's the silicone that I got off the internet. I did some searching, and I went to JBL's site, like, what does JBL use to put in their electronics? Because if you remember from the picture that I had, I'm trying to insert a picture here, but that's some tough stuff, and I'm thinking, you know, after I open this and use it this time, it'll probably harden and go bad, and so I probably, but it says electronic grade sealant adhesive. It's by GC Electronics, and there are a lot of things that go along with it. There's some things I just don't understand about. You know, it's non-corrosive. It'll remain flexible. It stands heat up to 390 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm pretty sure when you're like rocking out in your band, those crossovers are probably just like, you know, heating like a bulb. So I knew that a glue gun, a little shot there, I knew that a glue gun wouldn't get it, because that stuff, if it got hot again, it would just like goop and just drip. And possibly, you know, hot, cold, and eventually just crust off. So hopefully this stuff right here is going to hold until at least I need to replace the things again. All right, so let me go take that off. All right, well, that didn't take as long as I thought it did. It would, I mean. One important thing that I always do, always keep your screws in something. I had this tin can. It says screwdriver bits. I get this from my dad. He never threw any cans away. Not anything. He never threw a can away. So our garage was full of Folgers cans and whatever else he could find to put nails, screws, and he never threw anything away. The screw came with a ceiling fan or something. Like, he kept that sucker. I'm a little different. I will throw those kind of screws away, and I will get new. I will go buy nice screws and use them with that. So here we are. You got a shot over here, and we got everything. These things did pretty good. One was brand new. This one right here for the highs. This one, it was brand new. They are SK3s for the JBL PRX 400 series, which mine are PRX 415Ms. They're pretty good speakers. You know, it's about a medium club PA. I wouldn't try to put on a big concert with it, but also, you know, it's gonna hold its own. All right, this stuff's supposed to be really stinky, and but I got pretty good ventilation. You could hear the furnace kicking on. I got pretty good ventilation in this room. All right, well, gonna cut this end off and then make a mess, I guess. I don't know. These are my changing strings clips. They're just tiny little cheap things, and I usually clip off my strings with them. But whew. All right. See how much damage I could do to myself here. Just I'll probably regret this. It'll probably be a bear to get off. Well, it's not coming out. I mean, it is, but at the same time, that's just not a big enough opening. So let's see if I can, I'm gonna have to clip it off more. It's just, I'm impatient and I can't. It's like that old commercial for ketchup. It's like anticipation, it's making me wait. Come on, this stuff is thick. Some there. Alright, that's enough. Put some here. Alright. Some underneath it there to, yeah. Okay. One last one. Alright. Alright, that's it. Let's see if I got something I can push in there to clear out that. This is just a zip tie. Kind of clear the nozzle out there. I don't know. I'll probably never use this again. I gotta be honest with you. Not that it's not a good product or anything, but you know, yeah, this will probably be dry by the time I replace another one of those. So I'll probably never use it again. All right, throw that in the trash. And here's something else I bought recently that I'll probably never use again. Or this is number 10 thin super glue from Stuart McDonald. I had an inlay on my Les Paul pop up when after I adjusted the neck, because it set out here. You know, when summer was nice and hot out, and you know, air conditioner was running, and then it got cold out. So now the heater's running, and I adjusted the neck, and lo and behold, pop pop on both sides. And I went to play it, and I was like, something's catching the strings, and there it was. But so I didn't do a video on it, and this is why I started doing videos, is because I do so much of that stuff, so I might as well just do a video. But I may go over what I did, so just so you know, and there's a lot of good videos on Stu Mac about that. But so here's off to the side here. Here's what I did. That has to cure 24 hours, and you know, we may or may not have practice tomorrow because the storm is coming. With the storm, it's just snow, but one guy lives further than the others, and you know, practicing some songs is not you know, life threatening to make someone drive. But that's it. That's the end of my video. When that cures, I'll put that back in, and I'll snug everything up with all of the screws that are supposed to go in it. My chair dropped. I'm gonna be getting a new chair because my chair sinks like a lowrider. So that's it, and that's my first YouTube video. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Once again, that has to dry 24 hours, and everything goes back in, and that's it. All right.